Hello, and welcome to another episode of Ask an Assistant, the podcast for executive assistants and the people that love us. I'm your host, Jess Lindgren. Let's get to work. This week's question comes from my nephew, Everett, who asked me in person, "Hey, Auntie, what are card party events like?" Now, Everett, I'm going to say it. I love this question. However, it is very challenging for me to answer. And that is because my personal experience at Card Party is very singular. I spend the entire weekend interfacing with our event production team, with our sponsors, with our creators, with the venue staff, with our security team. Like, the more detailed I get in my description of the event, the more that I break the fourth wall. In addition to interfacing with all of the folks that make the event run, I also spend the weekend fairly glued to my executive side, ensuring that he is, as I like to say, where he needs to be, when he needs to be there, with everything he needs in his brain, backpack, and or belly. And truly, running the Card Party events is where that is put to the ultimate test. Like, every single piece about that, where he needs to be, which part of the convention center, which ballroom, which place, which time, what does he need to eat, what does he need to bring, what does he need, like, it just, that is what it is. It's making sure he is where he needs to be, when he needs to be there, with everything he needs. I did sit down and make a little list of what I feel like I can say while still largely preserving the magic for people that attend. And the few highlights I was able to come up with are that I helped a kid who dropped his Pokemon cards on an escalator pick them up and find a safe space to get reorganized. I reassured a family that their lost bag that was full of Pokemon cards, cash, all of their important stuff would be safely returned with all contents intact. And I was proven right the next time that I bumped into them, because our community is incredible. I ran the length of and up and down all 4 floors of the convention center 3 times in the span of 40 minutes to get things from our production office that were needed for the main stage shows. Let's see, I noticed that the live stage staff was using a piece of cardboard to manually fan the Mac that was running the show. So I reached into my bag and gave them my rechargeable fan to keep the live stage up and running and not overheating. Between trips from the hotel to the convention center, I fixed one of our giant inflatable Pokemon when I noticed that it was deflated on the convention center steps. During a session, I stepped out into the hallway, like out of the main stage ballroom, and noticed that the TVs in the lobby area were having internet issues. So they were somehow displaying footage from a Bitcoin event. And instead of trying to troubleshoot them, because I don't have the time, I unplugged them and let the production team know to come fix them. I also scheduled meal deliveries in advance and was bang on perfect with Sunday night dinner timing. Like, I could not believe just how perfectly, like, we left the venue, walked over to the hotel. The pizzas had literally been delivered like 5 minutes prior. It was so great. And then I also recorded videos for social media using my executive's phone when he was fully immersed in different situations. And honestly, the video piece is a pretty big one for me, because he has a whole squad of people capturing video, whether it's for social, whether it's for the YouTube channel, like whatever it's for. He literally has like 4 people with cameras who do the filming, and another 2 or 3 people who do like same day editing, turnaround. Like, it felt really special for me to be the one that he's just like, take my camera, film vertically, film horizontally, like whatever direction that he had. But just from the years of working together, like, my executive is a YouTuber, podcaster, blogger, what have you, like knows a lot about good film composition. And so for him to be like, hey, I really need you to film this for me, like that one, I think was one of my prouder moments of the weekend. So that felt pretty cool. There are also so many things that I really wish I could share, like just so many triumphs and hardships, absolutely innumerable, ups and downs, like so many intricacies and inner workings of the event. And if I'm ever in a position to share them more in detail someday, I absolutely will. Unfortunately, today is not that day, because we do, again, need to preserve some of that fourth wall. We need to preserve people's privacy and security and all that good stuff. But just the event from start to finish was an absolute smashing success. Like, this was only our third time doing it. And the first time we did it in Anaheim in 2023, we had about 15, maybe 1,600 people. And we absolutely overcommitted. Like, we had things starting at like call time of like 6 a.m. and then things that ran until like 9 or 10 p.m. and then sticking around to sign autographs and take pictures. Like, we were literally working 18 to 20 hour days and then like going to our hotel. And you can't just crash after that. Like, you have to come down from that. You have to decompress. You have to relax. And then, you know, if you're getting back to your hotel room at like midnight and not falling asleep until 1 or 2 and your call time is at 6, like that is a heck of a day. So that first year we really overextended ourselves, had some miscommunications that honestly, so glad we tightened all that up. But then when we did it last year in Orlando, I want to say we had like in the realm of 3,250, maybe 3,500 people. And just our team is huge. Our production team, our AV team, me and my executive as a team, like we are huge on start, stop, continue. Like, what did we do that wasn't necessary or wasn't effective or wasn't a good return on investment? What should we have done like in the moment that things that we learned or noticed throughout the course of the event, like, hey, we should really add this. And I don't love the word should, but like a lot of times you do notice things and you're just like, these need to be part of our policies, procedures, what have you, going forward. So we're huge on cutting out the things that don't work, starting things that didn't happen that need to, and just continuing with what works. Like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So just an absolute smashing success. And we spend a lot of time debriefing, tightening things up, making sure that we don't make the same mistakes that we made in the past. And we're just so fortunate to have such an amazing production team, an incredible AV team. And the Tampa Bay Convention Center was just above and beyond amazing. And we're so lucky to work with them. I also want to give a special shout out to my friend Patricia, without whom the event just would not have been so seamless. And my executive and I would not have been in such great condition afterward. Like, we really needed about 25% more time than I had to give. There are just so many situations where I can't be in two places at one time. And Patricia just fit right into the team like she'd been there since day one. And it just was an absolute joy working with you, Patricia. And I'm so excited to do it again in October. Patricia is a fellow executive and personal assistant and just really gelled with the team. And yeah, is with us till she decides that she can't do it anymore. You're stuck with us, Patricia. But anyway, we love you. Couldn't have done it without you and are so thrilled to have you as part of the gang. At the end of the weekend, if I've done my job well, everyone else will have had a wonderful time and hardly anyone will know that I exist. Kind of like, well, I mean, more and more people are starting to know that I exist. They see the red rose in my hair and they know that Pat is nearby. But by and large, people are keeping their distance and I can walk or sometimes run through the venue, keeping things running smoothly behind the scenes. It's really hard to brag about accomplishments as executive assistants, and honestly, sometimes just as human beings existing in the world. But this, I don't know. I did an awesome job at this year's event, and I really can't wait to do it again this fall. So, all that said, Everett, to answer your question, the events are a lot of work. And my executive and I have been working together for 12 years, and this is hands down the best, the most impactful, and the most fun work that we've ever done. And that's all for this week. I hope you're all happy, healthy, and hydrated as you can be. And as always, leave your comments, questions, thoughts, and concerns for me at askanassistant.com. And until next week, take care.